Welcome, beautiful people. Thank you all very much for tuning in. It's Beer Monster o'clock. And I've got a Pilsner to review for you here today, a German Pilsner. It is Radeberger Pilsner. I'm not sure if I've pronounced that right. Let me know in the comments if I've just butchered it. I've never tried this particular Pilsner before. It's 4.8% ABV, 500ml, a lovely brown bottle with a bit of foil on top there. It's quite a nice looking little bottle, this one. This was gifted to me by a friend of the family who went to Germany, and he picked up a couple of bottles of this, and they gave one to me, one to my brother, one to my mum, I think, and yeah, so maybe he was keen on it. I'm not sure, I haven't spoken to him. Maybe he picked it up because it's bloody horrible and he wanted to talk to me, but yeah, he wanted me to review one on my channel. So thank you very much, Callum, for this beer. Let's crack her open and see what it's all about. Obviously, I can't tell you how much it is because I didn't say thanks for the gift, Callum. How much was it? That'd be a bit rude, wouldn't it? So, yeah, you'll have to have a look, and might be available on Beers of Europe or something like that. I haven't checked, but yeah, all I know is it's a German Pilsner, and I do like me a Pilsner. If you're a viewer of the channel, you'll know that. All right, let's chuck it in this styrofoam glass and see what she's all about. Yeah, I do love a Pilsner, German and Czech Pilsners. My favourite is probably Pilsner Quell, which is obviously a Czech Pilsner. But I've not tried them all, have I? This could be better. Let's find out, shall we? It looks lovely in the glass. It's kind of a typical Pilsner colour. It's like a pale golden colour. Maybe straw, you could say. I'm going to go pale golden. It's got a very nice sort of creamy, almost creamy looking, brilliant white head to this beer. Does look very nice. Got good levels of carbonation flying up the side of the glass. Here we go. She's all in. Right. Let's check out the aroma of this German Pilsner. What was it again? Radeberger or Radeberger, whatever. Let's get the nose in there and check out the aroma. Oh, it smells like a really nice Pilsner, actually. Interesting aroma. I'm sure it hasn't got it in it, but it smells a lot like it's got kind of almost like honeyed kind of sweetness to it, which you sometimes get from the Polish beers that I've tried. Yeah, obviously it's a German beer. I'm sure it goes by the purity law. Doesn't say on the bottle, but yeah, they wouldn't be allowed to add honey to it. It smells a bit honey-y and bready, floral, a little bit. It smells lovely. A little bit of spice as well. Very inviting. It smells super refreshing. So there's a little close-up look at the beer. You can see good levels of carbonation there. Let's chuck her down the neck and see if she's any good. But yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic in this glass. Cheers, everybody. Prost if you're German. Bosh. Chuck her down the neck. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's tasting like it might be one of the best Pilsners I've tried, actually. I've actually never heard of this beer. Personally, never heard of it. I've never seen it or don't know nothing about it. But it could be a little hidden gem. That's my first impressions anyway. Super clean tasting. Really stood out just how clean this beer tastes. Yesterday I reviewed a couple of beers brewed in the UK, and when you go back to the German beers, bloody hell do you appreciate them more. Sometimes it's good to have a couple of the shitty UK brewed beers because you just appreciate when you get a good beer stuck in front of you so much more. Really do. And this just puts them two to shame. One of them, I said it tasted like it's been poured up my bumhole and then farted out back into the glass. And you can check that review out. That was yesterday's review if you want. If you're into that sort of thing. Right, let's go again. It's quite light bodied, light to medium bodied. I'm going to go another thing that just stands out is it's got such a lovely, like, kind of complex bitterness to this beer. It really does have a nice bitterness. I like my Pilsners to have a nice bitter finish to them. And this has got that, which I think is a big part of why I'm enjoying it so much. Incredibly crisp and refreshing. Nice crisp dryness on the end. Just finishes it off lovely with that bitterness, you know. Got slight bready malt sweetness at the start. I'm not detecting any honey taste in the beer, but for me it did have a slight smell of honey, like really did smell like honey, but I can't taste any honey in it. Such a lovely mix of hops in this Pilsner. Got like floral kind of hops and some like citrusy hops. It's almost like a lime, but almost bordering on like lime zest for me. After that sort of initial sweetness, it's really nice, and it's just perfectly balanced out with that beautiful bitterness on the end. It just sorts out the sweetness. It's just a really well balanced beer, this one. That bitterness is lovely, as I say. It's like earthy hops in here as well. I think it's from the hops, I'm not sure. There's kind of like an earthy kind of taste to it, but in a good way. Nice dry and crisp dry and finish. That bitterness is like a spicy bitterness. It's like mixed with spice, and that dryness is really like moreish. It doesn't really linger or nothing like that. But it just gives you such a nice sort of, like, the bitterness just sort of coats your mouth and gives you such a nice like flavours with like mixture of them floral hops and that. It just makes you want to go back in there again, because it doesn't really linger. It wears off quite quick, and you're like, hang on a minute, I want to taste that again. It's very, very nice. It's way better than I thought it was going to be. So well done, Callum, mate. You picked a good one here, I'll tell you that. So luckily, I think he sent this to me for review because he really likes it. It's very, very nice. Fantastic Pilsner. Kind of Pilsner that you could drink on any occasion. You could have it as an everyday beer. You could have it with food. Great for sessioning. That 4.8% ABV, perfect for sessioning. And it's just, I wouldn't get sick of this. I could session the absolute bummo off this all day long. No worries. Score out of 10. Let's chuck the last bit down the neck and really think about this. It's got to be higher, but I don't know how high. Absolutely fantastic for me. Definitely one of the best German Pilsners, in my opinion, that I've ever tried. There's still lots I haven't tried, but just that I've tried so far, I really do think that's outstanding. I'll definitely buy that again if I see it. And yeah, I highly recommend this one, guys. I'm going to go in with a 9.1 out of 10. It's an absolute stunning beer. And yeah, I suggest you try it if you've not already. If you've used Beers of Europe or whatever, chuck it on your order. I don't think you'll regret it if you're a fan of your Pilsners, because that is right up there. Possibly in my top 3 Pilsners from any country. Absolute stunner. Thanks very much for tuning in, guys. Smash that like button if you made it this far. It would be much appreciated. It helps me gain a bit of traction on YouTube and that. Consider subscribing to the channel if you like watching me talk about beer and tell you what I think of them and all that. That would be really appreciated by myself. It's free. There's a little button down there. You just click the button. A little bell button next to it as well. If you want to get a notification when I make a new video, you can see what I've reviewed. If you fancy it, you can watch it. That's up to you. You don't have to. And until next one, guys, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye, darlings.